everyone, this is Mallika Boobna and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Zach.
Hi everyone.
I've got him on a special request because he knows all about Tomorrowland in general. He's a big fan. So the first thing we'll be talking about, guys, is what is Tomorrowland, and I think I'm gonna let Zach answer this question because he will do it the best.
Yeah, I mean, Tomorrowland. When you look at it quite literally, it's a music festival. But I always tell people it's a music festival mixed with a food festival, mixed with a cultural festival, mixed with a bunch of things. It's a really unique event where you have, depending on when you go, whether it's the summer or the winter. If you go in the summer, you'll have over 500,000 people coming from every corner of the globe, just wanting to have a nice time. So it's a really, really great event to meet people, to dance, and to listen to some of your favorite DJs and artists and hear some really, really amazing unreleased tracks for the first time as well.
100%. I think I'm not a big fan of electronic music. I think I enjoy, but not as much as my friend does here. However, like it is such a great place to just meet people in general. People come from literally all
We made
around,
so many friends from
and we
Tomorrowland
still
this
talk to
year.
them. Like we meet them at parties. If they come to our cities, we hang out. If you do not enjoy the music, there are 10 other things you can do at the festival. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Lovely. So let's get on to how do we book this amazing festival. There's a lot of complications associated with it, and I'm gonna let Zach take over the booking part because he was in charge of booking all of our trips and everything. I was just there for the ride. So Zach, go on, take over and talk about what we need to do and what we need to take care of and know of before we press that button.
I think this is a really great question. When you look at the booking process, it seems very, very complicated because you have to pre register. What does pre registering mean? Well, what's going to end up happening in just a few weeks in September, the first thing that's actually going to go live by Tomorrowland is what's called a price simulator. Now, a price simulator will allow you to simulate the type of package you want to have at your Tomorrowland Winter experience, and that way you can gauge an idea for what the price point will be. So you can decide on sort of the accommodations, the number of days, which you have an option between 4 days and 7 days for winter, and then you can decide the category of lodging, which you have different categories ranging from wood. So it starts from wood, then it goes down to bronze, silver, and then there's gold, which is the top tier accommodations. And then you can filter that even further and decide if you want to be in a private chalet, perhaps you're going in a big group with your friends, or if you'd like to be in a hotel and you'd like that more like boutique level service available to you. So these are all things that you can filter through. And it's very recommended that you do this before the sale happens, because what's going to end up happening is after the price simulator, then starts the pre-registration where you will then tell Tomorrowland this is your preferred package. So you will tell them, okay, this is what I want to book. Then they'll give you the date of the sale. Be sure to be on there on the computer or on the phone. I think I recommend doing it via the computer. Make sure you're there on the date and time that is indicated in that email. If you're late, then most likely you're not going to get the package that you want. So this is very essential. And also, if you are international and you're making this payment to Tomorrowland, which is located in One World, Belgium, make sure that your credit card or bank card can make international transactions, so you don't find yourself in a situation where you finally get to book the package of your dreams and then you can't fulfill that transaction because you'll only be given a certain amount of time to make sure that transaction goes complete. So that's a little bit how it's going to happen. I know it sounds like a lot and it sounds very complicated. So what they do have is they have something called travel partners, which will make the process very simplified. So those who don't get a ticket through Tomorrowland can obviously book after the official Tomorrowland sale. But keep in mind that with this, you'll be paying a markup. So you'll be paying additional commissions that you wouldn't be paying if you do it directly through Tomorrowland. And also for any questions you have to direct your questions to the travel partners and Tomorrowland, and not to Tomorrowland itself, since you aren't directly buying through Tomorrowland.
Which could be a problem, though.
It could be a very much a problem.
We experienced it.
We experienced it. So we actually experienced booking through a company called Sunweb, which is a partner company of Tomorrowland Winter. And I'm specifying this winter because Sunweb does not exist for for this Tomorrowland summer. Uh, and we did not have the most positive experience when booking with Sunweb because the accommodations were actually located outside of 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐎, which is where the main festival happens and where all of the happenings are, and everything is just happening in 𝐕𝐃𝐄𝐎. We were staying in Oz, which is a village which seemed to be very close, but very far away in terms of ski slopes and transportation.
Yeah, just to clarify, Tomorrowland Winter happens in France in a small village, and it's a small village. However, we were in a different village altogether, and they have gondolas to go to that village from the village you were staying at, and those gondolas close at 5 p.m. and hence you're stuck. And transportation is a big problem in these small places, so you have to make sure you're as close to the festival as you possibly can. And staying near the festival is highly recommended to have a very good experience. Now, quick question: if they do not pre-register, can they still get tickets without the
Um,
travel partners, like just on their own with Tomorrowland, or no?
I know that 100% for the summer sale, you cannot. You must pre-register. You must create your Tomorrowland account. And I believe that for the winter, it's the exact same thing. So you first thing you need to do if you are curious and say, "Oh, I might want to go to Tomorrowland," make your Tomorrowland account so you already have that. So they have your details, and then that way you can pre-register and have that chance to take part in that sale when that sale happens. If you don't pre-register, unfortunately, I don't think you'll be able to take part in
But
the
you
ticket
always
sale.
have partners who can basically sell you the tickets.
For sure.
We do not, but we cannot guarantee the experience with them. However, Tomorrowland's very organized. That was very insightful. So pre-register. Do not forget if you want to experience Tomorrowland Winter or Tomorrowland in general. But you talked about accommodation and how you were in a separate village in France in Tomorrowland Winter. Talk to me more about your accommodation, how it was, what it was, how your experience, and so on.
Well, we were staying there together, so I think we could both answer this question. But for me, I really enjoyed staying in the hostel. I think it was a great chance to meet new friends, and it was an affordable option as well. I mean, we paid. I think it was under the likes of like
800?
800 for an entire week.
£800 for the entire week.
For an entire week of ski passes for the entire week, and the festival included. So I think we got a really good deal, including also the accommodation. So it was a really good deal that we got. So I was really happy with it.
No,
Yeah.
I made so many friends. We had a WhatsApp group with the hostel people, and we used to like go out to the festival at night with the night shuttle, come back together, and like do bonfires at the hostel, eat together. It was like a very lovely experience, and I'm still in contact. Like we're still in contact with those people, so it's absolutely beautiful. We talked about ski right now, so just to shed some light on the excursions Tomorrowland Winter provides. As I said, it's not all about the festival. It is so much more than that. It's a beautiful location with the Alps, the snow, the good food. So we did ski together for the
Yes.
first time.
Yeah.
So Zach, talk to us a little bit more about the excursion Tomorrowland provides, how to book that when you are on that page, and what all do you recommend from your experience?
For sure. So what's going to end up happening is after the official ticket sale happens, which is where you're going to get your package, which includes both your ticket and your accommodation. Oh, and by the way, I don't think we mentioned this, but you could also purchase a day ticket for Tomorrowland Winter. So let's say you happen to be in the region on vacation already, and you just want to experience one day of the festival, you can purchase a day ticket to the festival. Um, so yeah, that's also an option. But in terms of the excursions that Tomorrowland provides, so if you are not a skier, don't worry. This festival is still for you because there are so many things that you can experience. There was dog sledding. I did snowmobile riding.
Yes.
We did the sledge,
The
the
rail
rail
sledge on the
sledge.
snow.
We did
We were supposed to do the paragliding, is it?
paragliding.
It just was not possible with the climate, but looked fun.
And then there was a helicopter option,
Oh
which
yes.
I mean, literally anything you can imagine
Oh my
they
God!
had.
Talk about our favorite one, the noob's lunch.
The noob's lunch. So what Tomorrowland will have is what's called an add-on sale. So this is what's going to happen after everyone already has their packages all set up. This will typically happen around 1 to 2 months before the festival happens. You can take part in the add-on sale, which they'll let you know in an email. And that's when you can purchase all of your excursions and all of your additional dining experiences if you want to take part in those elevated, more like luxurious dining options. We did take part in one, which was the Noobs Lunch, which was their first year doing it last year, and it was absolutely incredible. Favorite thing of the festival. We met so many great people, and we were basically in a gondola, eating our lunch in the Alps with the views.
It's an experience we can't explain. However, there is a video on Noob's Lunch on the channel, so make sure you check that out. That's interesting to you.
Yeah.
Lovely. That was amazing. So, a lot of excursions, a lot of dining experience, a lot of good food. You have a lot of mountain food at the festival as well. So, even when you go to the stages. Let's talk about stages and artists a bit more. So, Tomorrowland Winter is special because you have stages in the snow, like quite literally, and then you have stages on the land. So, talk to me more about the stages at Tomorrowland Winter.
For sure. So the mountain stages are going to be open from around noon till around 4 p.m.
From 4 to 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Yes.
if I remember correctly. And then the main stage and the main festival area, which will be insulated, so it's going to be heated.
Very hot.
So yeah, you'll be okay. You're not gonna freeze. That's going to be open from like the evening, so 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And that's another reason why we recommend to really stay near the festival and not stay in a different village, because often what people would do is they would, after they would finish skiing in the mornings, having their lunch, maybe going to one or two of the mountain stages, they'd go back home to their chalet, they'd take a nap, they'd take a nice shower, they go to the sauna, they go to the spa, they go to the pool, and then they come to the festival later in the evening around 9 10 p.m. For us, because we were in a different village, we had to actually stay on site. And the issue with staying on site was that between that window of when the mountain stages would close and the official festival land site would open, there was no place for us to go. So we would find ourselves in like a random cafe if it was open, or a hotel lobby, just to try to like stay warm. So that's why we recommend to really stay at a hotel or chalet
in Alpe d'Huez.
Alpe d'Huez and right near the festival, if possible.
Please. A lot of people, for example, me, Zach was there all day long. He used
Every day, all day, every day.
This guy did not stop. He was there all 7-8 days. Was it? It was a long time. I used to go back with because the gondola stops at 5:30, if I remember correctly, and they never start back on in the night. Like it starts back the next morning. So if you do not take a gondola back, you're stuck at Alpe d'Huez. If you want to go back, you can't go back. And the taxis are like 90 euros or 100 euros, so they're extremely expensive and difficult to find. So we highly recommend staying at a walking distance to the festival. Lovely. So since Zach was there literally all day long, let's talk to him about his favorite artist, which we know. But talk to us about your favorite artists, which ones you recommend. I think all are great. I think all are amazing, but they all have their different specialties. So, like, talk to us about the artists at the mountain stages, how the vibe was, the food options, and how the artists were at the main stage, and what was your favorite moment.
I mean, for me, some of the most memorable sets during Tomorrowland Winter, I can count them on one hand. The first has to be Vintage Culture's set at the Frozen Lotus stage. That was just unforgettable.
It's a mountain stage.
It was a mountain stage as well. It was in the snow. It happened to snow during his set. We were so high up because Frozen Lotus was located thousands and thousands of meters above. We could actually see the paragliding above.
Literally, and it was difficult to breathe as well. So if you have, like, I found it difficult to breathe myself. So if you have breathing problem, you have to be very careful because the mountain stages can go extremely high in altitude, and sometimes it can be very, very packed with people because there's so many people out in Tomorrowland Winter. 150,000, is it?
No, there's only 20,000.
20,000, is it? Okay, 20,000 people. So, like, just be careful. And we'll talk about outfits in the end of the video, so stay tuned. Vintage Culture and
Martin Garrix for sure had an amazing set at Tomorrowland Winter.
I loved it.
He released a lot of his new music, his new collabs. There were some new IDs by just incredible artists, Matisse and Sadko. Martin is known for having those really big progressive sounds, and and he released some really great music during Tomorrowland Winter, so that was a lot of fun.
And one thing, again, as I said, I'm not really a big fan of electronic music. I enjoy it, but like at times. However, there are so many people whose first time is at Tomorrowland Winter experiencing this music, and they all vibe together. So it does not seem like weird. Like it's just such a fun vibe together. You guys dance, drink, talk. So it's just a fun vibe. Even if you do not like that music as much, you will grow to like it because of how beautiful everyone like is around you and like how fun it is.
For sure.
So those were the artists. I think the end thing we'll talk about is, now that you're excited that you want to go to Tomorrowland Winter, what do you carry with yourself? The first thing, travel light if you can. Uh, it's funny because it is very cold in the morning and even in the evening for the main stages, which is on the land. The evening ones, it is very cold outside. It is freezing. However, once you go inside the room, which is a closed space, it gets very hot and you would want to take off your jacket, but there's no space to keep it. So
Hence why it's very important to make sure that you have a locker,
which he made sure we did.
which I made sure we did because I purchased it as part of the add-on sale.
So do it.
So make sure you purchase a locker. In the event that you forget to purchase a locker or you don't, you could always purchase a locker on site. You might not get your preference in terms of size. We had a large locker,
Yes,
I
we are
believe.
large because you have thick jackets.
Thick jackets, and we had to layer for the day because we were in the
another
village
village.
next door. So yeah, make sure you definitely bring layers. I would also recommend bringing an extra pair of socks because you do not want wet socks, uh, especially you're in the snow and you never know what can happen. So and making sure that you have some comfortable yet hefty like boots,
Snow boots,
snow
because
boots.
you have to walk on
You
snow,
have
and
to
if you
walk on
have
the snow.
normal boots, it would not survive. Like you cannot walk and you'll slip and hurt yourself.
Yeah, so I think there were a lot of people wearing moon boots, like for the
I thought we were
boots.
talking about like not to wear, the not wear sneakers, but people wear like moon boots. Like you got like really lovely boots as well.
Yeah, I had some like Ralph Lauren snow boots, which were nice. Whatever works for you.
However, so carry warmers. I layered myself really well.
Yeah.
So
So
neck
did I.
warmers,
Yeah.
really nice, like body warmers, your neck thing, your
Thermals.
thermals, like loads of thermals, nice caps. Uh, would not recommend a lot of expensive stuff because you do not know if people are gonna spill drink on you or how you're gonna keep it. So like just like be very careful about the things that you get with yourself because you have to be responsible for them.
And also, bring a costume or two. There
I
were
was
there
about
were
to say.
there were times where we dressed up, and Tomorrowland is all about expressing yourself, being who you are, but also being someone that you might not know who you are yet, and someone that just wants to have a good time and dress up and be different characters and be sort of in the mystery land of Tomorrowland.
Yes.
So it's all about dressing up and having a good time. So bring a costume, or if you're coming in a group, maybe you can plan a group costume. A lot of people do that. That's a lot of fun to see the costumes.
Yeah, and girls, bring your sparkles around and like put it on the boys as well. Like it's just like a vibe. Everyone does it, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. If you do end up staying at a village and you do not find any space in Alpduas, a personal recommendation would be just like get some food with you as well. So like a little snacks here and there because the food in the village closes at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I mean they close very early, and they're quite limited in terms of options.
Yes.
And you don't have a place to go. So if you're hungry, then you're left hungry. So it's very important that you pack like cup of noodles, maybe you pack some snacks, protein bars, something to just like in case of an emergency and in case
But overall, it was an amazing experience. I think we met incredible people. It was my first time, and I felt so grateful to be there. It just like experience what it was. It's a different world out there, guys, and it's just like it's beautiful to experience and like just get a chance to do it.
it was so much fun. And as someone that is a avid Tomorrowland fan, both the winter and the summer one, you can't really compare the two because they're very different experiences, very different festivals, and the people that go to both of them are also different. So I recommend both. I think if you want a good ski holiday and you want to be in the mountains in France, then go to Tomorrowland Winter. If you're really going for the music and you're someone who wants to see the most artists maybe go for the summer one just because you'll have more selection in terms of stages. You'll have double the amount of stages. You'll have double the amount of space. You'll have million times the options in terms of how to customize your experience. So it just really depends, because Tomorrowland Winter is obviously a much smaller scale version of what the Tomorrowland brand provides. But if there's anything that Tomorrowland does, is they know how to create memorable experiences. So we had an amazing time, and we look forward to learning about your Tomorrowland experience. And as Mallika has always said, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those
On the comments.
on the comments section, and
we'll make
Mallika
sure.
can respond, or I'll be monitoring.
If you want
these.
him to respond, you have to give this video 50 likes, and then Zach's gonna jump in and respond to all the comments below.
For sure.
And as Tomorrowland people always say,
Live
live today, love tomorrow,
and
unite forever. So that's it for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching it like always, and I will see you next time. Much love. Bye. Look at you.